Okay. Can you see my screen now?
Yes.
Okay, good. Okay, so we type df-h and it's not there, right? So how are you going to know if the partitions are there? So what you do is you type the command cat proc partitions and hit enter. And then you could see here, you could see SDB is the main drive, and then you see SDB1 is underneath SDB, SDB2 and SDB3. Okay, let's go ahead and mount them. Okay, so I'm gonna create a folder, Bashar1.
Zafar, right here they didn't show up because it's empty. They didn't have anything. Yes.
Exactly.
Okay.
I didn't mount it yet, I should say. Over here, right?
Yeah, here.
Okay, yeah. I didn't mount it yet. So instead of doing that, what I could do is instead of mounting each and every drive, I could go vi/etc/fstab and hit enter there, right? And then what I could do is
Same what you said yesterday, like it will be available in the drive, but it will not available in the partition. Yes,
yeah.
this is what you said. When you do mount, you will make it available on the both side, and when you lose the data on the mounted one, you're not gonna lose it on the disk.
Yes.
Okay.
So I'm gonna type dev sdb1, and then where am I mounting this to? I'm mounting this to /bashar1, bashar1. Okay, and then what kind of disk is this? ext4, and everything else remain the same. See how conveniently I am like editing it, because I am very good. I'm doing really good using the VI editor. Okay. See, with the strike of few keys, I'm able to just edit it, copy it. So you should be practicing VI editor really good. So we created Bashar1, Bashar2, Bashar3. Now we made an entry in here. Okay, so if I type df-h, it's still not ready. So the command to load what's in fstab is you just type mount-a. When we type mount-a, is going to go and read into fstab, and then will tell you it will tell the system to load what are the settings, whatever the settings are in this fstab. So these are all in there, but it's not there because we haven't ran the command set. We haven't did the mount command yet. But now we trick the system by putting the entries into the etc fstab. Now what you're going to do is mount-a is the command. Remember this. It's a mount-a, and it's already listed here. Okay, maybe not. But what it is mount, and then -a means all. The system is going to go through all these entries and make sure they're all mounted. If they're not mounted, it will mount it for you. Okay, let's see if it's going to work. It took like a fraction of a second to mount those, and there you go. Any questions? And then you could definitely see here the size is 2 GB, and the size for the number 2 is 4 GB, and the size for number 3 is 2 GB. Okay, does it make sense here? and is mounted to Bashar 1, Bashar 2, Bashar 3.
For the maximum, we can make like 8 GB in each partition, yeah?
No. No. Right now, in this example, yes. Because SDB is nothing more than 8 GB. It's 8 GB. If you look at fdisk-l, if you look at fdisk-l, okay? So you could go up here. SDB. This is SDB right here. Disk dev SDB. Okay, this is where SDB starts. So you could come here and see, okay, this is 8 GB. Okay, then you could worry about the maximum in this example is 8 GB. You're right. But what we did was we made 3 partitions in here. One is 2 GB, another one is 4 GB, and then third one is whatever left is 2 GB. You could definitely make 1 GB, 8 partitions, 1 GB each. I would highly encourage you guys to like play around with this command and make like 1 GB, 2 GB, try to delete it and see what happens, okay?
Okay, but for each disk you can make only 8 GB, or you can do it more than 8 GB?
You could do more than 8 GB. So when we were doing in the system here, usually this is virtual disk, right? And right here when we created a disk, when I did the plus sign, it took the default one is 8 GB because this is a virtual disk. It's using up the computer resources. Did you get it?
Yeah, Zafar.
In reality, the size of the disk would be like 3 terabytes or 4 terabytes, and you will be using that all at once.
Oh wow! And you can make partition a size as much as you can with the terabyte, yeah?
Yeah. Usually those are the requirements for the application team. So when you type DFFNH, usually these lines are like, there would be like 20 lines. Don't be surprised when you go onto the job first day and type DFFNH, you will have about 20 lines in there. Right now, we got about, this is SDA. Remember, SDA is boot drive. It's automatically reserved for operating system. And then these are the ones we're creating here. So if you go in here folder and create the files in there, it's actually saving it in here. This folder in this example is being used as a window for this drive. Then this is a window for this drive.
Yeah, they all work for one drive. In this example, I mean.
Yeah, in this example, yeah. If the physical drive fails, SDB fails, all 3 are gone. You lose the data. Any questions? Should we move forward?
But Zafar, here you name them SDB1. I think you have to name them SDA1, SDA2, SDA3. Yes, correct or no?
No, because SDA would be it's for the other drive, the root drive, which already is used up.
Yeah, but this is the root for the 3, which is SDB1, SDB2, SDB3. Yes.
SDB1, 2, 3. Yeah.
The root for them.
It's not root. No, it's within SDB. It has 3 partitions. First partition is SDB1, SDB2, SDB3. It's obvious, right?
Yeah, I know, but you mentioned if you look at the top in the left side, you mentioned DEV SDA1.
Over here, the very first drive,
No, no.
SDA1, and we worked in second drive, SDB. And then within SDB, we have three partitions here.
But
And if we work on SDBC, then we could create three partitions. It's going to be SDBC 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever.
But Zafar, here the SDB doesn't show in the black screen, the right side. There is no SDB.
It won't. It won't show SDA either. It's showing SDA 1. It's not showing SDA either. To see
Okay.
that, you have to do cat proc mounts. I'm sorry, no, cat proc partitions. Okay, now you see SDA1, and then it's using system automatically created SDA1 and SDA2. I don't know what it's being used here. It's mostly, this is system reserved. We got some system files that we cannot access to SDA2, and it has like some of the out of 8 gigabyte, it's using half gigabyte for SDA1, and rest is for SDA2. So this is all done by system.
It's clear, Zafar. Like, if you want to have like more details, you have to go to cat proc partition. This is like, will give you full details about what you have.
Exactly.
Okay, thanks.
Now, SDBC is not there. It's just plain disk, just sitting around and doing nothing. When I go around and use the entire disk, at least one partition will be there. It would be SDC1. If you end up using the entire partition, it would still be one partition underneath. It will call itself SDC1. Did you get it?
Yes.
If I use 5 partitions under SDE, 5 partitions, so what do I see in there? Can you tell me?
SDE1.
Okay, and
how many? 5 partition you said?
Yeah.
SDE1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 you will find.
Exactly.
And it will show you here also the SDE, same like what happened in the previous. Okay.
But you have to complete all this process here.
Yeah.
You start from here, and then you complete, and then once you complete this
you have to mount
MK2FS, then it starts showing up in here. Okay, we already talked about disk mounting. All you have to use is mount, and then whatever the disk name, and then the folder you want to mount it to. Okay, so when you go into cat/etc/fs tab, all these are going to be default here most of the time. What you do is you just copy the first line and then start making changes here, okay? If you have SDC, you just copy the first line, and then rest of the stuff would be same here. The only difference would be this and this. Did you get it? Any questions? And then here it talks about removing the drive. So if you want to unmount this, what you do is you just type mount and then do Control V. I'm sorry, you call either copy or paste, or you just type it in there, and then you hit enter. Okay, let's do cat fs etc tab. You still see it in here, right? Because this is a permanent record. But if you type df-h, it's not there. See, the number 3 SDB3 is gone. So it happens, but sometimes there may be electromagnetic reaction going on, and all of a sudden this drive is not showing up. So all you have to do is go in there and do cat fstab. You just go in there, you'll get a ticket. Somebody says, oh, I cannot, application team people, they start crying, they cannot see their one of the disk in there anymore. And then you go in there and see the disk is there, but it's not showing up in here. So all you do is type mount -a and enter, and then do df-h. Now it's there.
So you have to be careful when you use VI editor. You have to link it immediately with the mount A.
Yeah. So that's why I keep telling you, every day you practice, you come here and practice the basic commands and VI editor there. Practice, keep practicing it every day, even though you know this. Come here and keep practicing, because you could recall all this going up, like cat command here. See how many times I use cat command today? I use so many times. Right, and then I use VI editor so many times today already. So you day in and day out, these two things, these two documents you will be using every day, every day. That's what your job is. That's what you're getting paid for. If you have a good command of this and understanding of other stuff, then you're all set for the life. Okay, so So what we're going to learn next is, if you want to see how many inodes this has, if you don't know how many inodes this has, all you have to do is type df-i. df-i. We are using df-h for this, and when we type df-i, that means inodes, and then we'll give the name of the disk you want to see. Okay, so it will tell you that df-i, this drive, you could write up to 130,000 files. You could have up to 130,000 files. That doesn't mean size of the file, but you could have up to 130,000 files. So it's already using 11 because these are reserved, and then it has 130,037 free. Any questions?
What the size for each file, Zafar, here? Like 13,000 divide 1 giga or 1.9 giga?
No, it doesn't work that way. Each file get one inode, and you could get up to 130,048 inodes. That means you could have like a simple 1 kilobyte of drive, 130,000. Okay, but the disk space would not be a disk space. That doesn't mean the disk is full. It just means these are like names. It will give out names to each file, right? So instead of giving out names to each file, it will give you the numeric number. It's called inode. So we have like a system that is managing people, and the most it could give out is 130,000 names in it. After that, you could determine if it has 130,000 names, you could have 130,000 files in there. But that doesn't mean the size of the file is the size of the disk. You could have like 130,000 1 kilobyte of drives, 1 kilobyte of file in there. So 1 kilobyte of 130,000 is nothing, right? but you could easily have. Okay, let's go ahead and create something here. Okay, let's do. So we are in Bashar. Let's go ahead and create touch. File. So I'm going to create 100,000. I'm not sure if our system is going to handle it. I'm creating 100,000 files in here, okay? See, you have to be clear. Touch. Look at that. It created 100,000 files in here right now. How do you verify? Well, I don't know. So we have 100,000 files in here right now, okay? And then let's do df-h. Okay, so we have 100,000 files, but it's using only 5.1 megabyte. So it's almost still have another, it barely used it. So out of 2 GB, another 2 GB is almost another 2 GB is there. Only 1% is used, okay? How is that possible? But we have 100,000 files here. 100,000 files are just Inodes, okay? It's not
empty.
Huh?
Maybe because they are empty, there is nothing inside.
Yeah,
only number.
Nothing in there. But if you do dff-and-i /dev/sdb3, and you see inodes are 77% used because the names are 77% used. It's telling you these many names are being used and these many are left. And if we end up using this many names already, and it won't allow you to create more files in there, okay? Because they need to have enough inodes and the size too, size of the disk. I think you are confused now. Are you confused now?
No, Zafar, clear.
Clear now? Okay, good. Anybody else have any questions?
If you go over like the 130,000, it will give you like command that you want to be able to create another file, or how you will get command, or how it will function like.
Okay, let's go ahead and do that. Let's go ahead and make another 30,000. So it's gonna make it just fine here, okay? Because okay, so just df-i /dev/sdb 3, right? See, it's only 37 left, so it's telling us it's almost used everything. We could go ahead and use another 30 here. Okay, zero. Zero is zero inodes are left. But if you do dffnh, you see the disk is almost empty. It's only 1% being used. Let me go ahead and create a file. Okay, cannot touch file, no space left on the device. Okay, you will get this same exact error. When it says no space left, as an admin, you have to come here and take a look if it's a physical drive space is not there or it's a problem with the inode. Very first thing anybody would do is dffnh. You go dffnh and hit enter, and you see, okay, you get the ticket. It says, oh, SDB3, it has a 2 GB of drive, and then this much is available. So your next command would be df-i /dev. I'll go ahead and do this.
Exactly, because if you look at this, the previous one, you will not find any problem. You will say fine. Yeah.
See, this one, the other address, it is using only 11. It's using everything. So you tell how many inodes are free? 0. So you tell application team, you need to start deleting garbage files here. Most of the time they keep a lot of garbage files and they cry about it. And you tell them, you just, what you do is you copy this and put it in a ticket and then send it back to them, and they will know what the problem is and they will take care of it on their own. There's going to be a lot of groups you will be working with. Okay, you are the system admin or engineer, but the other groups are, they will be like network team, application team, database team, security team. All these are like different teams here. If the internet is not working or there is a network problem on the computer, you troubleshoot a little bit and on your side, and then after that you says, okay, this is not working, then you send the ticket to the network people. They are the one who will look into it furthermore. When they fix it, they'll send the ticket back to you, and then you check it. Okay, it's all good. Then you send it to application team, and they verified everything is working. Then it will be worked on. So the application team will be, the website, the whole website, the big company's website is just not run by one team here. There's going to be hundreds of teams supporting one website, because customers go and buy something online. They'll be putting their name, address, and everything is with database people, network connection people, security people, Linux admins people. All these are going to be working together to have one single website running. Okay, give me 1 second. I'm going to take a break here. Okay, I'm back. Can you hear me? Hello?
Hi.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Hello? Okay, Bashar, good. Okay. So, does it make sense here? Are you still with me?
Yeah.
Okay. Most of the time, if your inodes are full, but you want to increase the inodes, it's a very risky process here. Over here, it says all existing data will be erased if you increase the inodes, okay? Because you're doing MKFS, then so let's go ahead and do that, okay? So for you to DFFNH, for you to increase the size, it's 130,000, right? We're going to increase the size to something else, or even more than that. So what you do is you have to unmount it first, okay, and hit enter. Then you type DFFNH, and it's unmounted. It's not there. SDB3 is not there, right? And then you don't ever do this on your own, because you have to make sure if they really want this, and have them send you in an email or put it in a ticket, so that you have some kind of proof later on. I've been working for so long, but I haven't really have to do this, okay? But I'm showing you anyway. So I'm going to increase the inodes to, it has 130,000, right? So I'm going to increase it to 200,000. You can manually give the number. Let's do 300,000. Okay. And where do you want to increase it to? You want to increase it to /dev/sdb3. Okay, when I hit enter, all those 130,000 files are going to be gone. Because you're making the file system all over again.
So you replaced 130,000 with 300,000, Zafar. This is what you did.
Yeah, but the data is gone. See, all those data is gone. Now you see 300,000 inodes, and then 300,000 is left. You could run the command here.
And Zafar, it's remain with the same size, like because I noticed like before you use 1.9, now it's 1.8. It's go down.
It doesn't matter. I told you in the beginning, this is not exact thing, okay? Because when we give some information like that, it's still using a disk space to keep the inode information, keep the disk information. There are some binary information it needs to keep.
Yeah, I understand, Zahar, but
Okay,
my question here, like even if you delete and you wanna give another inode number, like more file, it will stay with the existing space which you give for the previous one.
Yes.
Yeah, this is my question.
No.
Okay.
Okay, you see all of them are being used. Only 21 is left, and then the percent of inodes is being used is 100%. Okay, let's go ahead and move on. I'm going to show you how to extend the size of the partition once we have already created. So let me clear this out. Cat proc partitions. Okay, SDB. Let's work on SDBC. Okay. Or which one you want to do, D or C?
You said you want to increase the existing.
Yeah. No, I have to. Now this one is a bad example. You have to create a very new good example and then show you how to extend the partition. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So let's go ahead and do fdisk /dev/sdd, and then let's go into menu and let's create new partition. I hit enter, and then I'm going to make primary, and then partition is 1, and then I'm going to enter default, and the size here I'm going to take, so you have to plus 2G, so I'm making 2 gigabytes of disk space. Okay, and hit enter, and then type W to write it. It's writing, and then the command is mk. Yeah, you remember the command mk2 mkfs.ext4/dev/sdd1. Okay, so SDD1 is here, and then out of 8 GB we are using only 2 GB. Okay, so clear this, and then CD. So I made a folder named Chris, and then I'm going to mount that disk to the folder name Chris. So what is the command? Mount /dev/sdd1/Chris df-h. Okay, any questions? But this is not permanent. So if I do cat etc/fstab, it's not in there. Okay, so to make it available, you have to do the vi editor, etc/fstab. So you just type one line and paste it, and then you go in here, and then all you do is change this. Did you get an idea what I'm doing here?
Yep.
So to save time, I'm just copying the previous line, and then I'm just making a simple edits with the correct information. That way, you don't have to remember everything. Let's do umount /dev/sdd1 and hit enter. It's not there, but when I type mount -a, is going to read from fs tab, and then when you do df-h, is there, sdd1 is there. So now it's not going to tell you the size of the SDD. It's going to only tell you the size of the SD1. Okay, I know what happens usually is that this will run out of the disk space. So you will get a request to increase the size here. SDD1 is 2 GB now, right? So we're going to increase the size. Usually they will tell you how much you want to increase. Either they tell you they will tell you add 1 GB to make it 3 GB, or they will tell you the total size of the disk should be 3 GB. So you have to calculate this. If it's already 2 GB, and then you tell in the back of your mind, okay, they need 1 extra GB. Okay, so the instructions, what you have to do is, very first thing, you have to unmount this. You mount, enter, and then you verify df-h, and then SDD is gone, it's not there, right? So what you have to do is okay, so I think these instructions are wrong. Give me 1 second. The size did not change. Okay, hold on. I think I'm missing. Okay, there is one other process here, so I think I have to cover that later on, but we'll follow this process here first. Partition method, swap. Okay, yeah, let's go ahead and continue with this thing here. So we have SD1, right? So what you have to do is you guys have an L. Okay, and then you do M, and then you do P. Okay, oh no, we SDD, M, then P. So we have one disk in here. So it's telling us to delete the partition. So let's see what the delete partition is. You just type D to delete it. Okay, partition 1 selected. Then you do P, is gone. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna make a new partition and enter, and we make it P, and then the partition number 1, enter. You do plus.
Zafar, just here. I have like quick question. Like here he give you like only primary partition you can use 1 out of 4. Yeah.
1 to 4, yes.
You can't go make more than 4 partition.
Yeah, you could make 4 partition, then it will be an extended partition. Well, I will cover that later on when we're doing the LVM, logical
Yeah, that's why
value.
when I asked you, you told me
Okay.
no, you can make SDB1, SDB2, SDB3 up to 10. But
Yeah, yep.
here
It is 4 primary and then unlimited extended.
okay.
So 1, 2, 3, 4. Number 5 will be extended, and then it will be also number 5. So we have to just tell them E, but the number will be continuing on.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Let me hit enter here. Then I type W, rewrite it. But what you have to do is you have to type this command here, E2 FSCK -F /dev /SDBD1. So what it did was we deleted the original partition and we recreated one with the 4 GB, and then it's checking the inodes, the blocks, the size, and everything. It tells you and it gives you result. Okay, if there is any problem, it will come back and tell you what the problem is.
What about the
Okay.
existing data? It's gonna take it from the disk again?
Existing data is gone in this situation.
Okay, that means this is dangerous. This is not meaning like you can't add. This is like
Yeah,
you have a new one with 4 gig. You are creating. Is it correct?
yeah, you are recreating it. Usually this kind of request you come in when you recommission the server. Some people they use the server for like 2 3 years. After that they say we are done with it, so you could recommission it for something else.
Okay.
So you
So
have to use this command.
okay. Like you refresh the disk.
Yep, yep. Then you type RESIZE 2FS, and then you type dev SD SDD1. So it's resizing the blocks and everything. It resizes itself. Okay, then you type df-h. It's nothing there, but you could type mount -a. Now you see the size is 4 GB. It's mounted to Chris. So the main reason it's using this here is this folder when they have it programmed into a lot of things, they may have just programmed this folder here, and then in that program or in that application it would be harder to change this. Sometimes it would be easier to change the size of the drive over here rather than changing the name of the folder and assigning it somewhere else. This kind of request you get it very rarely, but you do have to know that. Okay, df-i. Well, inodes, I would just most of the time inodes I will just have it auto assign it, but you could assign it at this moment too before you even have the data or give this drive to application team. You could extend the inode if they ask you to. If not, then you'll just give it the way it is. This is automatically 255,000 is a lot of files, right? It's a lot of file in itself. Okay, we already did a single partition drive. You just have to do it, no partitions. You just have to create, go on and create. We already did yesterday SDC1 yesterday. We already did this. Create a partition on an existing drive. Yeah, don't worry about this. So let's see if we could talk about swap. Okay, so the swap is actually a virtual memory. So in this system, the memory is 1 gigabytes, and this much is used, and this is what is left here. So when the system is busy, and what it does is it will, if it start using more than 1 gigabyte of swap space, 1 gigabyte of memory space, it needs more memory to start so that it can continue on. So what it does is the system has a swap. This swap is actually a part of a drive, hard drive. It's not part of a RAM. So the system automatically creates some swap here, but you could create more too. So what it's doing here now is the swap size is here. When the system is busy, when this one is 0, the free, then it start using here. I will tell you how much is used and how much is left. But sometimes the swap is already full too. So what are we going to do? If you have like a database running and the swap is full, what you have to do is you will get a request to increase the swap. So let's go ahead and do that. Cat proc partitions. So I'm going to use E drive, SDE, to make a swap disk, okay? Okay, so what is the process to create swap? You type fdisk /dev/SDE and hit enter, and then create M. Okay, and then we're gonna go ahead and look for create an empty partition, add a new partition. Okay, change partition system. Where is the one that says list known partition types? Okay, list known partition types. L, enter. So what we're going to be using is we've been using number 83 a lot, right? So we're going to be using swap. Where is swap? Swap. Anybody see swap in here? Linux LVM, no. Old partition.
Yeah, it's in B8. B8, Zafar.
B8?
Yeah.
Where? I don't see it.
Yeah, here. Go left. Yeah, exactly. Look at the right side. BSDI swap.
Okay, hold on. B BSDI swap B8. I think it's 83, 82 here. Do you see number 82? But let me. Are you guys still with me? Hello.
Yeah, Zafar, swap, when you said virtual memory in the hard disk, so this is like secondary memory?
Yeah, secondary memory. It may or may not be available there.
Oh, okay, but what it we used for? Like just
If
to
if
have
the
backup?
existing memory is full, it will use it temporarily.
Just like a backup, temporary backup.
Yeah, temporary disk space, the temporary memory space.
Just to not maybe to not harm the disk, yes?
Yes,
Okay.
it's a memory. I mean, the processors are so many, the memory is being used up. So that's why they create a swap.
It's linked by space, not, I mean, the limited for this memory by the space, not the time. Yes,
Yes.
it's depend about the space. When it's become full, the system will go down, or the file will get affected. Yeah.
Okay. Yes. So we're gonna go N for new, and then we make it. Let's see here. Yeah, P enter, 1 enter, and then enter, and then we are gonna make 2 GB, 2 GB of this space, and then M enter, and then change the system partition ID. Okay, I'm gonna give T enter, and then the code. The code I'm going to use is 82. Okay, there you go. The disk name is SDE1, and this is a starting block and an ending block. It's the block size, and then the ID is 82, which is Linux swap right here. We've been using 83 by default, but we made it to Linux swap 83. Okay, and then let's do W enter. So what we did is we designated a 2 GB of space for 2 GB of space for swap partition, which is the when you do df-h, it won't show up here, but you type free -m, it won't show up here because it's still, we haven't formatted or we haven't made that swap available yet. Okay, so for that the command is
Mount A also.
no. Remember we use mkfs.ext3 for ext4/dev/sde1, right? Instead of that, what we're going to do is mk swap, and then that's it. Mk swap dev/sde1. Okay, this command is only for swap. When you hit enter, this drive will become a swap partition. This is a swap. This is a virtual memory right now. This is not a hard drive anymore. Okay?
Okay.
You have any questions? So let's see here. Let's type this command here, free -m Now you see the swap size is 815 megabytes. Now let's start using the newly created swap. So the command for that is swap on dev/sde 1 and hit enter and type free-m. Aha, look at this. It used to be 815 megabytes. Now it's 2871 megabytes. If this is full, the regular RAM is full, it goes over, it starts using the swap.
I remember there is something similar in Windows also.
Yeah, it's called virtual memory.
Okay.
Virtual memory, you got it right. But this is not permanent here. So if you want to make it permanent, you go into vi/etc/fs tab and hit enter and then go all the way down. Copy it and type it here. And then what is it? SDE1, right? And then we are not using the folder anymore. So what we're doing is we're typing swap. Okay, we're typing swap here, and then we are removing this ext4, and we're typing swap, and default 00, all this stays the same. Okay. So next time when the system reboots, it's going to remember this. It's going to go ahead and remember that.
Mega.
Yeah. So to remove the swap, all you have to do is swap off. Maybe you have to give a name here.
Name of the
exactly.
SDE1.
SDE1. And what is the command I type to check the memory? free-m. It's gone. Turn it back on. It's there. So let's turn it back off again. It's gone, right? Now we made a permanent entry into FS tab. It's there. So when we restart the system, it should automatically load. Or free-m, right? You could also do mount-a.
Yeah, like this you save it permanently.
Yeah.
Still showing why it went.
It's not doing it. I think I have it wrong.
But Zafar, swap off, it's supposed to just to make you go out from the comment, yes? Not to delete the swap memory.
Temporary, yeah. If it's in FS tab, then it's permanent. If it's not in FS tab, then it's temporary.
But I know when you do it after FS tab and you make swap off, it will remove, it will go back to the original 815 instead of, or just like it will let you go out from the comment swap and move to another thing. Like how you did, like for example, X, when you exit from VI editor mode. This is similar thing or?
It's the same exactly, yes. So in the VI editor, I did a mistake, so you have to go back in there. and then you do swap, and then you do, I think, okay, you put none here, okay, because it's not mounted to any folder, okay, and you leave that swap here, and then you just remove default and you type SW, okay.
Still,
Still not working. I don't know why. Let's go ahead and restart the system.
and it's X.
I brought back money from Chicago here when I came here yesterday.
Wow.
Yeah, my roommates, they ate like crazy.
There is Yemeni restaurant around in Chicago.
Yes.
Okay. So this is like the original mandi, huh?
Yeah, original. Your fingers will be sticky and all. Okay. Do you see this? We removed it, right? But when the system came back, it's holding that swap on now. You know why? Because it's we made the permanent entry into a tab.
Like you have to restart after you make it.
No, you don't have to. You just type swap on or swap off.
Okay.
I was just demonstrating it. You never ever restart the system, okay?
Okay.
See? I made the entry in here. That's why it goes through the process here. It's one of the process that goes through the booting sequence here. Didn't we talk about that booting sequence?
Yeah.
Booting sequence. One of the booting sequence, one of the processes to load the FS tab. Okay. So the kernel detects all the devices, initial the device, mount the root file system into read-only mode. Okay, and then it also reads this FS tab, init tab, all those files. Okay, it does the check, and this is part of a process of booting process. When it boots through that, it checks the settings and then does load those settings into the system. Okay, so create virtual memory using file method system. Okay, so we're gonna go over the system, the method I showed you. Apparently, it's a method that you use it using the hard drive, but you could definitely use it as a file also. So swap off slash dev slash sd d1 e1, right?
Yeah, you want.
Free hyphen m, and it's gone here. So we're gonna look at this process here, the file method. Okay. So you type free hyphen m. There is the swap is running out. So, but there is a built-in command you could use. Exactly, you could use it exactly the way it is here. Okay. So you type dd if equals input file. If means input file dev slash 0. Dev slash 0 is a device. Don't worry about it too much, but just for now, for the sake of this demonstration, this is how it's going to be. dd if input file, and where is this input file coming from? Device 0, and of means output file is equal to, we're going to give the name of the swap name, swap 1, and then what is the byte size? BS means byte size is 1024. 1024 is a standard. 1024 means 1 megabytes. Okay, and how many megabytes you want to get? You want to get about 2000. So if you want to get 2000, that's 2 GB. Okay. All right, let's enter. It says 2 billion, right? 2. Huh. Apparently, it is 2 million. Okay. So you barely use this procedure here, but this is what's the procedure here. So what I created is I created a 2 GB of disk space out of thin air. So remember this. This is a dd command. dd command is a backup command, but in this scenario we're using the dd command, and then the input file is dev slash 0, and then the name of the file is swap 1, and then the byte size is 1024, and then the count is 200 million, 20 million, 2 million. I'm sorry. That makes it about 2 GB. This is, to me, these are all so confusing to me. So you could imagine it's going to be confusing for you too.
It's getting harder, Zafar, frankly speaking now.
Yeah, as long as you're gonna stay up with these commands here, because basic commands and all this, other things are you don't have to remember those. This thing I haven't done this in 6 months, so I did this. I'm not using it day in and day out at my job. You barely use this, but I have to show this to you how to use it.
Yeah, but the basic command, if you control it, fine. Then you will, when you go to the job, based to the training which they give you, you have to follow the structure. Yes.
Yes. Every job has their own processes. So
Yeah, I know. You're explaining for us everything, so then we will be specialist in something. Or...
yeah. So we created a swap file 2 GB, and right now it's not available. So let's make it available. So what we're gonna do is um, this command here we created is ls. So what you do is you type du, yeah, means disk space hyphen sh and swap one. So what it does is it will tell you where this disk space is. So let's do df-h. It created a file name swap one. So let's go ahead and see where it created the file name uh, swap one. Okay, so this is the information, and this is the inode information. Okay, what is the command to find the inodes? I don't always use this, but you go up in here, and you go in here, find command. You go look for okay, so find slash hyphen n, find slash hyphen I, and then you give the inode number. Let's do it with name.
Think it work without slash, Zafar. No need to put slash. Find direct. I know it. Yeah, file I. Try file I. Sorry, find dash I, then the number. Strange.
Okay, so let's do find hyphen name and then swap one. Okay, see, it created over here. So you could cancel it. It created into root folder. So we are into root folder ls. And then you see the name of the file there. You type lsfnl. The name of the swap file is swap1 and it's tgb. You see it now? It's a file, swap file, and it's a 2 GB file. We used it by using a command, using this command. And then you could manipulate this number however you want it. If you put 3 here, then it will be 3 GB. Okay? Now, for it to be able to use, let's go ahead and clear this up. Free-m. It's not being used, right? It's only 815 megabytes. So let's use it. So simple way to do is activate swap one and hit enter. It's not working. mk swap. We already did this, right? Swap one. Okay, now activate. activate ACTA. Okay, it's using it. So this command, activate command, is not necessary, I suppose. Okay, so the original swap was 815 megabytes. We added another 2 GB. So now it's up to 2.7 GB. Actually 8, but I mentioned to you how this is going to be. This is going to be approximate. It's not going to be word to word or exact thing. Okay? Any questions? Do you have any questions about the assessment?
No, though, actually, still I didn't start it. I will start maybe after 2 days.
Okay. If you can't go to the server, let me know, and then I have to turn it on because after 2 hours it goes down.
Okay, I will text you if there is any problem.
Yeah, text it in the group.
Group?
Okay, Chris, I have assigned assessment here. You just click on assessment, and this is the server. You go on to that server, and then you select this is your user ID, and I think I put the password into the group chat. If not, then you could ask again in the group chat, and you have to go read this file to get your assessment. Okay?
Yeah, it's in the group chat. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And this is you said when you go temp, you have to mention cat/temp. Yes.
Whatever. I mean, you could go in there and then do it, or I mean, you got all the tricks now, but don't do VI. Just do cat to read it. Okay?
Okay. So when we get this assessment, it will come to you direct.
Yeah, I'll log in there and then I'll check it out.
Okay, so it will be saved to you. It will be okay.
Yeah, I think I told you to do the assessment in your own directory, because when you log in with your name, is going to be your directory, okay? And perform the work over there.
You will find out who's okay.
So let me see. Hold on, I'm starting the server here. I got like 2 minutes, then we'll call it off. Okay, so let's see if it's ready now. Okay, this is the homework. And create a directory dir1 inside dirx. So you just have to use your head a little bit to see what the question is, and then do those things. Okay, so you have a total of 14 questions, and you could take
Just we make and move on. Then you will get it, yes? Like after one, we will go to two. You will receive the result, yeah?
it will be saved here in your own folder.
Okay.
This is your folder home/Bashar, but save everything in the home/Bashar. As long as you don't change anything, it should all be sitting in here, okay?
Okay.
All right, good luck, and you got a couple weeks to complete this, and it's open book. You could search internet and everything, and then I'm really hoping everybody logs in and take care of this.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, I'm gonna disconnect now. Anybody have any questions? Okay, no questions means I'm gonna disconnect and we'll go from there. Thank you.
Thank you, Zafar. Thanks.
Okay, bye.
Bye.